Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Been a little while since I posted a video, but haven't really done much with the car except drive it. I actually was really unsatisfied with the starter on the car. The starter looks like it was a parts store rebuild, and when I pulled it off, it actually said Bosch on there. It went through the usual mutilation, date code obliterated from sandblasting the aluminum. Really bad quality on everything, and it just really wouldn't start the way that you would expect. So just a little bit of a fair warning not to use parts store rebuilt parts. I actually had another starter sitting on the shelf needing a rebuild, so I took that to a really trusted local rebuilder, and he did an excellent job for only about $75. And here's cold start with that new starter. So you see, the good quality original Chrysler starter does not have that sound that we all know Chrysler is to be famous for. So, with that being said, make sure that you save those original parts and get them rebuilt only by trusted people who do good work. So you can see that starter started the engine in about 1.5–2 seconds. So you don't have to sit there cranking and cranking on the key like you would with something that was worn out. I'll take you guys under the hood here and show you the starter that I got back. Okay, there it is. You can see that the casing's been painted. The aluminum was carefully cleaned, preserving the date code on there. New terminal lugs, and the guts are all brand new. The bushing and the bushing on the main shaft, I believe it was the rear one, he said, was totally shot. And this thing would just turn really slow, but now you can hear the difference. Because I'm sure you can compare it to your own car and how fast this one turns. To do the job, you only need a pair of pliers, a 1/2-inch wrench, a 9/16 inch wrench, and a 5/8 wrench. Just disconnect the battery at the negative post there, unhook it, and then come down there on the big nut, that's 9/16, and use some pliers carefully on the little one. And if it's not been touched, it's got a external tooth star washer on there, so be very careful not to lose that. So once that comes off, unhook the positive battery cable off of there, and that bolt up top is 5/8, and the nut there on the bottom is also 5/8. So just give those a couple turns, and well, this car is a California car, so it was really easy, and you could actually undo them by hand. But yeah, that's all it takes. And just lift the nose of the starter there up past the kickdown linkage very carefully, and the whole job is probably 5–10 minutes. Alright, over here on the retaining wall is the starter that I pulled out of the car. Bosch sticker. There we go, flip this thing over. Do not strike with hammer. The rebuilder I talked to said that's very strange because this thing does not have magnetic parts inside it and that should not apply to it. Well, like I said, date codes are obliterated. This was supposed to be the wheel. The center right there is supposed to have a number and then 12 segments around it indicating the month and which month this thing was cast in. Would have been the part number, vendor number. I mean, overall it could be saved, but it's amazing what really passes off as a quality rebuild by these huge rebuilders. So like I say, it's not really worth it to get something from the parts store when you can save an original part. Unfortunately for originality, this one's completely ruined, but it's still usable, and maybe somebody can get some use out of it. But I know that I've done the Survivor car a lot of good by taking care of this and replacing it with something better. So yeah, it's just again, just a bit of a fair warning for anybody who decides to trade in original parts. This is what you get back from the parts store, and you'll be completely unsatisfied with what you get and how the car operates. Alright, thanks again for watching. Talk to you next time.